3.
Awesome. So today we're going to talk about 12 and a half, the first ingredient in his book, Gratitude by Gary Vee. So in this book, so far I am on the curiosity chapter. What about you, Erica? What chapter are you on?
Tenacity.
Tenacity. All right.
Yeah.
So I want to dive into the gratitude factor, but first, like a little overview of like how this is going to go. Eric and I feel that this book has a lot to offer, and it can speak more to people like us when we give them that perspective and give examples and how it resonated with us. So that's kind of where we're going to take it today. And I want to start like on page 4. One of the things that really spoke to me was when he brought out the global wage calculator. And really my view of it is like, yeah, gratitude is all about perspective and how you perceive things. So for me, hearing that, half of the world doesn't have working toilets was just like mind blowing to me. That's he said 4 point something billion, million people in modern, 4 point something billion people in the world don't have working toilets the way we do. And then another one is that 40.3 million people were in modern slavery in 2016. Like they really didn't have the option to quit, which is just, you know what I mean? Like right. That it was not too long ago at all. And I mean, I'm sure there's still millions that are in it today. And then the global wage calculator, where the average wage is $20,000 a year. And like, ever since I heard that, I'm just like, I'm really out here, not to put down anybody, because that, I feel like, let me finish my thought. I feel like I'm out here big living, you know what I mean? When I hear something like that, it's like, we look at so many celebrities, and especially the celebrities from our community that are like, it's about the money, it's about the cars, it's about the clothes, that is all of I have heard since the day, you know what I mean?
I gotta have your chains and your bling bling and all that.
Yes. And it's like, okay, that's nice and all. And it makes it hard for you to remember that you actually have a lot, because you really don't need those things. You know what I mean? And like, imagine if a rapper was talking about, look at the water that you have and the air that you breathe. You know what I mean? We get a couple of them, kind of those are like the spiritually awoken conscious ones. You got your Kendrick Lamar somewhat, but then even so you hear in his music and his struggle where he talks about, the money factor and how he battles with it. You know what I mean? Because he knows it's not important. And there are other people out there like that too, all to say. But yeah, for me, that was really, really an eye opener, and I'll never forget it. What about you? How do you feel about gratitude from this book so far, Erica?
Out here, I mean, like really thinking that I had it like really bad, considering, some things going on. Like I really put perspective into like things could be a lot worse. Like for example, like we said, we see a lot of the the rich and famous being glorified for having nice things and wearing the name brands and things like that. And it's like, it automatically kind of makes you feel some type of way, like you're not good enough, or you're not doing, the best, or you can do better. But actually just taking a step back and realizing that, having a roof over your head, being able to feed yourself or your family, that's something that people, thousands, millions of people are not able to do around the world. And for you to be able to do that, that is one thing to be like that's huge. Also the fact that, I mean, to be honest, like we have the advantages of going into our refrigerator and opening it up, and it may not be exactly what you want there, but you have a refrigerator to go open up. Some people don't even have that. But I mean, just like being real, like all that other stuff, it's like it's gratifying and they glorify it. But if you can like get back to the basics and realize that, just waking up in the morning and being alive and being here. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's really ultimately the only thing that matters. Like when you leave this world, you take nothing with you. Like you waking up in the morning and being grateful for what you have, that's everything. So, I mean, that's where I get out of it. And it's kind of hard sometimes, especially because I'm in the hood. So it's kind of hard sometimes to look at it like that because, like 3 blocks over or down the street, there's big houses and fancy things and you want that. And it seems depressing and daunting, but at the same time, I'm fortunate enough to not have to rely on someone to come bring me my dinner, outside. So that's yeah, people don't look at it a lot.
That's,
Gratitude is big.
yeah. And I think like in my moments when I'm most upset, like I've learned that it's gratitude, like when I'm just like, I can't even be mad. You know what I'm saying? I cannot even be mad, like for real, because I know it could be a lot worse. And so one of the things that I highlighted in here was be thoughtful and honest with yourself about your missteps, but don't start dwelling on them. When I tell you, I was not even before, like, so before I started reading this book, at this point, I'm like, wow, it's really resonating with me and it's reaffirming my thoughts. Imagine if I would have got this book 5 years ago. Oh my gosh. It would have been, okay, it would have changed things. I mean, it just me, because I have that perspective now and I highlighted it because I was like, it's just a reminder of like, I used to really, really dwell on things. And I think that I can see how it's in this part of the book because it's like, yeah, gratitude will allow you not to do that. You know what I'm saying? You still get to go forward. You still get to get another shot at it every single day from whatever it is that you want to do in life, whether it's your job, be a better parent, be a better, spouse, and so it's like, for me, hearing that was really awesome. And then also it was like, if he said that if he ever got into the mud, he said, I'm grabbing my gratitude hose to wash it off, is the way it's worded. So yeah, I just really, really like feel that and vibe with that. And then also it says, it's going to happen in the face of disappointment. Gratitude is my chess move to limit dwelling on it. And so, yeah, I really, really feel that. Cause like literally there are a lot of things that I could be like, I messed up on this, I failed on that. And oftentimes in the past, I would just give up. But now I'm just like, I gotta keep going because it's really not that big of a deal. It's kind of a part of it, actually. And so, yeah.
The yin and the yang. You get your good, and with that, you get the bad. And what you do with it is you kind of like balance it out. You use that. It may not be so great, but at the same time, if you can look at the brighter side of things, it can actually make the situation a lot better. I know it's hard because when you're going through it, somebody say, "Look at the silver lining. Look at it's not gonna rain forever." That's hard, but it's a matter of like repetitions. If you keep on training your mind, like to think this way, to start thinking about the positive things when something's going wrong, then it just becomes a habit versus like a struggle or a task. It's just something that just becomes, and eventually you just get better and you get better and you get better, and then all of a sudden when you're walking around with more gratitude within you, it's easier to actually exert the love and not, like you said, dwell on things that may not be going your way or
Yeah, 100. Yeah, that's real. Yeah, and I want to give another statistic too, because like, I mean, literally, I'll be talking to somebody. I literally was talking to my cousin the other day and she was like, telling me about something. And I was like, hold on, wait, let me go to page 4 right quick and let you know that in Russia, okay, they make $5,000 per year. Okay, like, come on, man.
That's crazy.
And it's not anything to like, because I know that on the other side of things, the people that are making $5,000 per year or 20,000 for the average, the global average, are happy. You know what I'm saying? If they choose to be, you know what I'm saying? There are probably some, it's probably split in some type of percentage, but some who aren't happy and some who are, and it's all because of like your perspective. And this is kind of trickling on to another book, Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. He mentions like leaning on your privilege. Like, I feel like the more that we're grateful and the more we put things into perspective, we see our privilege in every situation, and it gives you wings, you know what I'm saying, to like navigate and like fly and realize that nothing's keeping you on the ground but you. And so I just saw that. But the statistic was that more than 820 million people in the world were undernourished in 2018, which, yeah, to your point, like we got food.
Right.
We got food. It might not be what we want in the fridge or whatever, but like we got food so much so that like they'll deliver it to our doorsteps. Like, and that's still, that's a first world thing. You know what I'm saying? It's
Like
not
we can pick
way.
up our phone and download an app and say, hey, bring it to my door. Like,
I'm saying.
Really? I mean, yeah. And then we don't have anybody telling us when we have to be inside. I mean, we have rules and regulations, of course, but you know, like in other parts of the country, you can't wear certain things. You can't go outside at a certain hour. You can't be in a relationship with who you want to be with. You know, like there's so many freedoms of this land. It's crazy. You know, there's a lot of things that we can dwell on that are bad. That, you know, but there are so many freedoms, and if you can, like, you know, you utilize, you know, take that and use that as your power versus
yeah. And those things that are bad, it's like we have the opportunity to change them. You know what I'm saying? Other countries, it's like, look, this is just how it's gonna be. I guess
it's gonna be like.
Yeah. At least we have no way to protest and, you know, do all of the, you know, work our way up into levels of the court. And as, you know, workers, if you want to get hired as a judge, you want to be the president of the United States, you have that option. You know what I mean?
United States, if you're doing something that's not making you happy, you have every ability, or you know, you can just stop.
Yeah.
Start over. You don't have to.
Yeah, and to the point, like I would be remiss to not just for this one, probably in the future too, not bring into the NFT space and the metaverse Web3 factor, just because he's aligned with it, we're aligned with it. I feel like a lot of people in the, you know, NFT space, myself included, at times in the beginning, like the middle, I'd say like the summer area, because I remember there was a trip that I missed and I wanted to go to Miami for the crypto party. And I ended up getting everything set up, but I didn't buy the flight. And I was like, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to the event because I couldn't afford the $500 ticket. But I was like, okay, I can just fly out there, go to the hotel, and I didn't. And then I got to see the pictures and stuff like that. And it was this fear of phone. Yes, I just wish I would have went, you know what I mean? But then it was like, and I'm glad I didn't, because it changed the trajectory. It would have changed the trajectory. With the whistle a little bit to enunciate. I would have changed the trajectory of where I'm at today. And I'm very happy about that. But at the time, and I know that there are other people in the NFT space and entering the Web3 space that's like, oh man, they're doing this, they're doing that. It's like, we're right on time. Like, honestly, and this is a first world thing too, of like, we are able to play the game early. And if you already know about the game and you're playing, we're so early, you know what I'm saying? It's just that perspective of like, imagine if, you know, one of our favorite musicians or your favorite artist came out and was like, I'm not going to be an artist because people have been making songs and I can't make songs because everybody else has already made it. And they didn't take that step to making our favorite hit. You know what I'm saying? Because there have been other musicians before them. And music has been going on for as long as it has. We're at the very beginning, and you mean to tell me like I can't make happen what I want to make happen, or I don't have the time, when we know this is like a technology that's going to be here for the long run. So I just really wanted to say that for the clips and listeners, when I put this on my page too, of like, stay the course. You super early. We're so early, it's ridiculous. So dream big, move how you want to move, and don't get caught up looking at somebody else. If anything, cheer them on, learn from them, see how they did what they did, and be inspired, you know?
Right.
So,
we all gonna make it. No.
Yeah, and hey, some of the ones that don't make it are gonna be the ones who gave up. I know it. Yeah. I even think about like artists who came out, they made a hit, and this is another thing too with like NFT. They might be hot now, you know what I'm saying? We have so many singers who came out with hits, and I'm really big into music. Yeah, but there's some who don't. They have one hit singles, and it wasn't because people wasn't feeling them. It's honestly most likely because they gave up. You know what I'm saying? Even if the record label was like, nah, you good, like. Really, everything is community based. So I also think that so long as you're building your community and you're grateful for the size that your community is, whether it's 5 followers, 10 or 2, you know what I mean? Like that is really about perspective and about gratitude. Mm-hmm.
There you go. They summed all up in one little nutshell. No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, the gratitude, this section was pretty short. Like, I mean, I think they all are. And like,
they're not that long. And then, and we're gonna get fun. It's gonna get fun when we get to like the exercises and stuff in the book.
Yeah. I was just opened it up in the back, and I see like all the things, all the deeds. So yeah, it's gonna get fun, and maybe we can get some other engagement involved of like where people can send in or share or come in and join the talk if they'd like, something like that.
I gave a couple of the books out, and I was talking to like my best friend. I was telling her about what we were doing and stuff like that. So she's like, she'd probably be interested in coming on and like giving her perspective on, one of the traits or something. And then like my cousin, she's planning on, kind of like talk her into, because she has her own thing going on. She's like trying to become a creator, or not necessarily trying to become a creator, but she's a creative, but she kind of has her own thing going on. And I came to her about NFTs probably like as soon as I got into it, probably like a year ago, and she was like, like everybody does. But anyway, it's all good. No, it's all good. I know they just got their own lives, but yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, well, sounds good. This is going to be great. This is the start. And we'll be back next week.
Absolutely. And who knows? Who might just, decide to say, hey, they might want to come on and offer.
Heck yeah. So how I imagine it, and this is for like, I'll cut this out or something, some way. Well, actually, no, because that would be too much, and I would just want to take the whole edit and throw it up. So this is for everybody. But
it's raw and uncut. You got us.
Okay. Super raw and uncut. But I'll just say we'll probably take this and I imagine like putting it out will be the easy part, but then it'll be I guess sharing the link and then turning it into ideograms. We can share that, and I'll send you a link on how to do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop the room.
Okay, sounds good.